Hi, and welcome to another episode of Emerald Isle Vacation Home Specialist. I am your host, Dennis Richkovsky. Some of you recognize me as the co-owner of Flip Flops Donuts, and some of you know me as your broker of real estate, who specializes in waterfront and water view properties along the Crystal Coast, especially on Bow Banks and in my town of Emerald Isle, North Carolina. On this channel, you will find essential information from the inside scoops on buying and selling houses to how to live with the ocean, rivers, and sounds that define the Crystal Coast. Today's episode is all about the 4 essential steps all homeowners must take when selling their homes here along the Crystal Coast. Whether you are listing with a realtor or going the FSBO route, knowing these 4 essential steps will put more money in your pocket at closing. And that is a story that deserves telling. Before I begin, please subscribe to my video channel now or at the end of the episode. The 4 essential steps all homeowners must take when selling their homes here on the Crystal Coast are all about your home looking great to any buyer who comes to see it. Essential step number 3, and the topic of this episode is showing advice. Let's get started. There are numerous showing tips for selling a house. My number 1 showing tip that I share with all my sellers is to be reasonably flexible with showing times. I tell my sellers that if buyers can't get in when they want to, you'll make things awfully hard on yourself, and more importantly, on the buyer. Quite often, sellers will want to put up barriers to showing their homes, such as requiring an advanced showing notice of, say, 24 hours. That might be okay back in the pencil, paper, and landline era, when one agent called another agent who called the seller, yada, yada, yada. But today, here at the Crystal Coast, that's a no-can-do. Most of my buyers are coming from out of town. They may have only 24 hours to see a house. Ideally, they have emailed me a list, and I have called our centralized scheduling service, Showing Time, to get showings scheduled and confirmed. It takes minutes, and I never speak to an agent or a seller. Invariably, a new home comes up in the MLS, and when the buyers arrive, they just got to see it. So, a quick call to Showing Time, and bam, I got the house scheduled. Showing Time is a great service, and the people who answer my calls always manage to make me look great in the eyes of my clients. In addition, buyers don't look at just one house usually. They will schedule multiple homes to view on a given day. If your home is the only one with showing restrictions, the buyer may skip seeing your house. A missed showing is a missed opportunity to sell your house. It is as simple as that. One of the other homes may catch the buyer's fancy, and they may never come back to view your house. Bottom line, I tell my sellers, if you don't want to leave money on the table, it should be a priority to get as many people through your house as possible. Making showings complicated is not going to achieve those goals. My second most important tip is do not, I repeat, do not skimp on the heating or cooling of your house. I remember a deal when this couple was deciding between 2 very similar homes in the same neighborhood, and they requested return visits to both. The day we visited both happened to be the hottest day of the summer, 102 degrees Fahrenheit. The AC in the first house was operating, but it felt uncomfortably warm. I checked the thermostat and it was set at 76 degrees Fahrenheit. The second house was cold, iced cold. I checked the thermostat. It was set at 64 degrees Fahrenheit. The wife, when I had asked her what she was looking for in her next home, told me she never wanted to be hot again. Guess which home they bought? My third showing tip is to brighten things up. I tell my sellers to turn on all the lights, day or night. For a nighttime showing, turn on all your inside and outside lights. And open up all drapes and shutters. Make your property as bright as possible. Buyers these days typically want homes with lots of light, and that's especially true here along the Crystal Coast. My fourth showing tip is to create an inviting atmosphere. I recommend leaving soft music playing, classical or jazz. Turn off any blasting television or radio. I recommend placing some potpourri throughout the home to help it make it smell fresh and clean. Put out some light snacks. Have bottles of water in an iced bucket with a note for the buyers to help themselves. This might keep them in your house longer, and that is a good thing. Lastly, make your home memorable to the buyers. They will be looking at multiple homes. So make yours stand out by highlighting a piece of artwork or setting out multiple big vases with flowers, artificial or fine. The buyers will refer to your house as the flower house when they discuss it later that night. And that too is a good thing. My fifth showing tip is to keep pets out of the way when showing, preferably out of the house. Some buyers get annoyed, and some are allergic, and some are scared. Worse, pets divert the buyer's attention, and they can't remember anything about your house except for your pet. And that is a bad thing. My sixth showing tip is for my sellers to get out of the house too. Take a short walk with your children and pets. I know sellers may want to introduce buyers to that special something, that light that comes in the kitchen window at sunrise, for example. I get it. Tell me what that special something is, and I'll make sure the buyer's real estate agent knows all about it. If you, the homeowner, are around, that potential buyer may feel like intruding and may want to hurry through your home. Worse, they might want to put you on the spot by asking you direct questions. Is that table staying with the house? And force you to make hasty decisions. Your goal should be to get your potential buyers to spend as much time in your house as possible so that they can see how it could be their new home. And that is best accomplished with no interruptions or distractions. My seventh showing tip is to never leave valuables that could be easily pocketed. Watches, jewelry, small items of emotional value out in plain view. It is unfortunate, but there are some unscrupulous types out there. Yes, one of my jobs is to observe my buyers, but even I don't have eyes in the back of my head. My eighth showing tip is to make certain that when you hire an agent to sell your house, that agent has an automatic feedback system that sends a survey to the buyer's agent requesting feedback and an indication of level of buying interest. Well, now you know all about my showing tips and what a little attention to detail can do for your bottom line. To learn more about real estate in Emerald Isle, Bogue Banks, or along the Crystal Coast, sign up for my blog on my website, www.eihomesforsale.com, and subscribe to Emerald Isle Vacation Home Specialist on YouTube. To receive my newsletter or my new book, How to Enjoy Selling Your House, text your email address to 919-308-2292. Stay well and stay safe. So come on down to the Emerald Isle and the Crystal Coast, and please subscribe to my channel below, and definitely return next week to the same bat channel at the same bat time of 9 a.m. on Thursday for another episode of Emerald Isle Vacation Home Specialist.